gets to know them better. Because, yes, they were the Imperio Esports lineup from Wildcard that popped up. And they also at one point, they didn't go through the NTT7 route. But yeah, there's also a few members there who has international experience. I believe Marquinho. So Mayhem Evolve, I feel like they have a good amount of experience internationally. Nothing compared to like Team Spirit, of course, but they might have enough to just cross them on over to the next stage of their evolution as competitors in the global scene. It's the draft now. Let's see. Again, the biggest question is the YSS of Mayhem Evolve actually gonna come through?
We'll see. We will see. I mean, we're still halfway through unboxing this box of meta that we're in. We're pulling out the styrofoam peanuts right now. We'll see what else is in there. I don't know if the YSS is, but for Husky's sake, I hope so. Into the bans though, Suyo is going to get banned out first here.
Luigi
as well.
It's been a staple in that mid lane. 2 out of 3 games picked. But I do also want to see a bit of diversity in that gold lane. If Bruno makes it through, it's going to be a first phase pick for sure. It has been the same matchup in gold, in fact, for all past 3 games. Bruno into Granger.
Yeah. Real quick, we also have to mention that Mayhem Evolve, they are used to playing under a Swiss format, as the MPL LATAM Season 2 was under that format. So this is nothing new for Mayhem Evolve. That they just have to think of it as, just imagine we're playing at home, but against the world's best.
Another thing to mention about LATAM is, it is essentially the whole country playing. It is multiple different, or the whole continent playing with multiple countries.
Yes.
So it's essentially a small international. They're very comfortable on big stages. They're very comfortable against multiple different regions. And so they should be ready for this.
Yeah. And they decide to go with Comfort, a very stable first pick. Nothing too crazy right now. They got the Gata Kacha. Again, the flex option is always available for that one. You'll just adjust it based on the matchup that you see.
Yeah, usually the Khalid Cho or a Valentina +1 would be a response on the red side. We've seen, I think, Ofanar went for the Bruno as well in the first phase on red. See if that's going to be the case. So, Hylos Alpha.
Yeah, I mean, with the Suyo gone, the Alpha is one of the next best things to come up. The thing about the Cho is we don't really see Sawo on it that much. It's not a popular pick for him. But on the other hand, Kid Bomba can play it, so it could be something that we could see flexed over if...
Whoa! We get it.
Bow down to Husky. Bow down to Husky. Bow down to
Thank
Husky.
you, Aurora.
We got it. And honestly, I was thinking that they wouldn't even consider it, because Hylos and Alpha, when I think about it, it's like, would I want to be a YSS here? But apparently Aurora says, yes.
Yes. He says YSS.
Yes.
So where do we go from here, right? What does Team Spirit do? We saw Ruby Way earlier. Could be something that could be decent against a YSS. Also the Cho, any kind of real frontline CC that can catch him when he tries to dash in. You want to really try to hook him, hold him in for just a second, and take him out.
There's one that I can think of, actually 2, but one I prefer, either the Kaja or Franco, if you want suppression, right? That could be a choice. We've seen another option that the Mongols pulled up in the wildcards, which is the Baras XP, although that one is a lot less favorite. But when you talk about long range, Beatrix is kind of the next in line after the Bruno.
As we look into the bans now for the second phase of Team Spirit, with them picking the Beatrix, they get to match Marksman for Marksman. You still have the picks of Feshin up in the air. Faramis is one of its noteworthy pickups, and honestly, with a mid to late game team fighting comp, with a double Marksman, YSS, and Bruno, Faramis would actually slot in very well with their lineup.
Throws the Cho ban though. On the EV side, they still need to ban out a possible roamer, possible EXP laner, and a mid laner. But they need a mid laner, so both teams kind of in this position right now where they have to think about what they're banning, and I think in more of a sense look for trades. And with Team Spirit getting the first pick after this second phase of bans, they kind of have an advantage.
Yeah. One thing that Team Spirit can do is... Oh, no, excuse me. They already have the Alpha, so they're not going to be looking for a jungler. I almost got excited about that. But... Let's see. They get creative with their EXP lane picks, honestly. They've shown that they are willing to consider heroes such as Akai in the EXP, even Belleric in the EXP lane, something that they showed up. But with Mayhem Evolve, seeing that there is no 100% pick yet for Sawa, they took away the Matilda, one of his best.
I mean, if you see that there are 2 marksmen on the enemy side, and both of them are relatively short range. Well, probably a Malefic Gun for Bruno. Big setter like a Terizla could be considered as well if you're Kid Bomba, since there is still that high loss flex on up in the air. Though a wild one would be the Savo Diggy. I know I'm asking for too much. We've already got YSS, but
I think since Team Spirit is banning out roamers right now and willing to go head-to-head with all the roam bans, I think they're showing that this Hylos is most likely staying roam.
Yeah.
I think at this point it's EXP lane for both sides, but I think they hold that EXP lane until last pick to try to maybe get some counterplay in there. So mid laner coming up is my guess, and they go for the Valentina.
All right. Now for Maycam, Aurora slots into their lineup incredibly well with the high loss to Alpha with how close range Valentina would get. That just means you're going to be giving the friggin' Glacier to the Valentina of Team Spirit, but at this point I take it. Good amounts of crowd control. You don't need to chase damage for your mid laner. You already have lots of damage with the YSS and Bruno. You just need to help set up that damage.
It's about the utility, right? Again, you talk about the Faramis, that could be an option too, but I personally would prefer a bit more control so that Aurora looks quite nice for Maycam.
What was that?
That's Aurora. That's Aurora.
Aurora?
The KOF.
It's a KOF skin.
That's KOF skin. I was like, what is that noise?
Yeah, every time I hear that, I'm always thinking Kagura. Oh wait, no. It'll be Aurora.
Aurora.
Yeah, and Phoveus is there. Phoveus. Interesting. Maybe because Team Spirit doesn't. No, but into the Alpha and the Beatrix, Phoveus might actually be quite sad here.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. It's a frontliner. I think you can go toe-to-toe at least with Hylos, but the problem is I think when you're up against the Hylos, you want to try to... Your advantage is the rotation because he's a slow hero. So if you can outspeed, that's the goal. But you kind of lose that picking up the Phoveus. So, but you still get this box. You get a nice protection for YSS. You get a nice protection for Aurora and Bruno. Last pick, Glue for the side of TS.
All right, real quick, how are we feeling about the draft? Maybe the biggest question mark for me right now is the Phoveus of Maycam Evolve, and Team Spirit. It looks like they wanted that Glue because Kid Bomba, he was calling the shots at the end of that draft.
Yeah, I think you got to be able to peel away from the front line from TS.
All right, let's toss it over back to Brigida and Mirko to call game number 4 of today.
We're nearly halfway through the first round of the Swiss stage, and I must say, we're seeing quite a pattern happen for the first few matches. I don't know anymore what to expect for this upcoming match.
It's been a route full of upsets, right? In day number 1 of Swiss stage, and to be fair, we kind of expected best of ones to be bombastic, volatile. I think we've gotten more than our fair share of volatile or volatility. But then we see Maycam Evolve. No, we haven't had enough. It's time for Aurora to make his debut on M6 on a Yi Sun-Shin.
I think this is way more than innovative, but we're about to head into game number 4 between the former M5 Dark Horse and the new gem of Latam. So let's see who will be taking the upper hand this time around, or will the upset still proceed to happen for the 4th series in a row?
Let's see if the volatility continues here with the picks as well, man. Aurora, I would love to see more picks like this. Just signature picks all around for all you guys to get. But there's something signature that you guys can get too. It's the M6 Pass that's available from the 18th of November all the way to the 29th of December. Go get it right now, boys, because you guys can actually complete all active tasks during the event to reach level 75 for free.
Yep, you get a lot of amazing rewards. You get Claude's Battle Emote, M6 Glory Avatar Border, a lot in store for you, and even the Prime skins, of course. You don't want to miss that. And the figurine. Like, you saw it in the panel area. If you haven't, just check it later on. But there's a Claude figurine you could also claim for yourself if ever you reach the maximum level. So now we're heading back into Maycam Evolve versus Team Spirit. Another thing I like to bring up was how you mentioned the trend of the teams who were put in the blue side, right?
Yeah.
And right now it's Maycam Evolve who's also on the blue side.
Hey man, they have a lot of things against them. Like Spirit, they're on red side, 0% win rate. They're also against the Mirror Curse somehow. So I don't know, man. It's a tough job for them, especially because right now Aurora is doing a good job at farming and super not well with Marquinhos. We were looking at these picks. We were thinking about, all right, how are they going to set up for the Yi Sun-Shin? It's so far been get Prio in lane, rotate it over to give space for Mr. Aurora.
Yep, farming has been the focus for the first few minutes of Maycam Evolve, and I'm not entirely sure if you'd want to let them freely do that if you were Team Spirit. At least I'd expect some sort of disruption coming in from their side, especially with the glue in their hand, so I'm assuming that we're bound to see a very chaotic team fight take place later on, but it seems like Makeup Evolved, they're really sticking with that idea. They just want to go for the farming in the early stages of the game, and so they'll just let Team Spirit take the early objectives for themselves.
It's the calm before the storm. We're gonna have a lot of calmness in the early game. Team Spirit, they have such a massive advantage when it comes to just neutral objectives, right? That's an alpha. They have the glue, the Hylos. So Pryo for sure. For Makeup Evolved, they got a Yisun Shin, so it's all really about farming for him. So as long as Nahuel is able to get some space for Aurora, and as long as Aurora continues to farm this way, I think Makeup Evolved are actually pretty happy with the trades. Turtle for farm.
Yep. Could this be potentially the game where we find our first blood, the longest
first blood?
the
Yeah,
longest
yeah.
first blood? I don't know, because we're seeing the tempo being very, very slow, and these teams just being very, very patient. So it's not impossible that they don't really choose to go for a team fight, not unless Kid Bomba, but Makeup Evolved, they're just really avoidant of all the team fights in the early stages of the game.
That's a first item Melfic gun for Hiko. Arcadian walking up, Kid Bomba with flicker, slap, pass, finding them back. Question still able to flicker out to safety with the Frigid Glacier to stun Kid Bomba down. But there will not be a full initiation. Hiko will get the double wave in the mid lane, shoving it in and getting a few good shots onto the turret.
Yeah, so Team Spirit, they have their own ways of also making sure that they get the necessary farm. And you're right, they get the Malefic gun priority here for Hiko, but Yurikotsu really just wants to go for all that sustain and that potential extended or long team fights we might be seeing later on, because as we're seeing it right now, nothing's really happening just yet between these two teams. So I'm starting to believe this might really be the longest game before we see our first blood.
I think that's fair. This is the battle of farm so far. I mean, for Makeup Evolved it is. For Team Spirit, it's all about just playing their game too. It's neutral objective control, waiting for the mid-game power spike, and maybe that's why Hiko went for Melfic Gun. He just wants to clear the way faster with more range. Yeah, you can actually be in a safer distance when you actually go for the shot. So Pryo over the Turtle for Team Spirit. Hiko's already on it. He's the one leashing the Turtle. One shot will be able to just take it away. They don't even need to go for the Retribution. But they're not going to be able to use the Retribution to invade anyways. Makeup Evolved already cleared out the entire top side of the jungle.
And I'm wondering, what are the trades that are in mind for Makeup Evolved? What are their plans heading into the next few minutes of this game? Because they haven't been really getting the trades. They haven't been really contesting these objectives. But this might be the first attempt towards an engage for both sides. Bennett's Rage also committed. But then the only priority for Makeup Evolved is to defend. And this is the trade that we're probably talking about.
This is why he went for the Melfic Gun. It's all about getting the shots outside of turret range. Aurora getting a lot of gold though in the bottom lane. That was a trade-off. Spirit still has the gold lead, so it's not really that massive, but man, the sieging potential on Hiko, he's not stopping.
No way. Could this be a better way to brute force our way in? But Aurora! So, okay, 5 minutes in.
Clock it in.
We get our first blood.
First blood in 5 minutes. Clock it in. I don't know if that's the longest first blood in M6. It probably is, right? An M6 so far, but in all-time M series, we'll have to check again. Team Spirit are doing a good job. They punish Aurora somehow. I think that was a split.
Oh no,
Rage! Fashion loses the passive instantly. Sawa has her vitalized. The Mountain Shocker comes down, but Team Spirit, it just tickles them. One shot. The orange buff was to secure the Mountain Shocker secured the orange buff. I think Aurora got it with the ult.
He still got it. And
W-Mans, I guess.
He didn't use his retribution either way, but could this mean that Makeup Evolved, they're just really trying to wait for those potential counter engages that they'll be doing up against the Team Spirit? Because I think we slowly have to acknowledge that Team Spirit, they're really trying to play this aggressively. They know that farming is the idea for Makeup Evolved, but as you've mentioned, it seems like there's just this abuse of the Malefic Gun that's happening right now. This tier 1 turret might just fall down, but then okay, the damage is also there. Forces out their Vitalize.
We saw the Granger versus Bruno. Now we're seeing Hiko on the Beatrix just go for turrets. Go for turrets, man, with the Melfic Gun. Turtle number 3 will spawn in the game. 3,000 gold lead in 1 kill.
Yep. That's a super fast wave here we're seeing also. And they might just continuously transition from one thing to another.
The double snipe landing. Fashion will fall. And Sunset Lover is the one who picks up the kill as he steals away the Frigid Glacier. And all in that time, Spirit was able to get one shot over to the Turtle to solo it. Now it's a 1 level lead for one shot, and we can finally see the goal difference. 1.7k on Hiko.
Oh.
That's the range advantage.
And if Team Spirit just continue with this, they're gradually going to decrease the areas where Makeup Evolve can look for their farm, and that's not going to be a good sign. Definitely not going to be a good sign if that's the entire idea, or if they just really want to hold everything out until the moment they know they're capable of fighting. Because Team Spirit, it seems like they're also very disciplined with whichever kinds of team fights they try to look after in terms of this point of the game. So they seem like they really want to force this mid lane turret. Will they attempt? Okay, that's still the defense from Makeup Evolve.
Literally a pure siege. Spirit they're playing with their catapult. Hiko is the catapult to their siege. Everybody else is just posturing up. They're letting Hiko throw those catapults down and slowly but surely tear down the castle of Makeup Evolve. And so far, the king of Makeup Evolve in this metaphor, Aurora, I don't think he's at a point of is this a power spike? War Axe? I don't think so. I don't think it's enough just yet to go for fights.
Yep, and he's 2 levels behind of one shot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to consider for Makeup Evolve. Clearly, trades might be the way to go for them, but Team Spirit, they really want this mid lane control.
Fashions already going to be cut off there. AOG, great usage of the split, and Bamba just flickers out. Hiko, catapult keeps on catapulting. Look at that. One of the boulders coming down. Ooh, Yurokatsu toned away. And it's all about hitting it right now. Hitting the turret slowly but surely. Hiko, you're going to get it one day. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
I mean, shouldn't be such an easy task for like Team Spirit. I mean, there have been adjustments to turrets recently. They really increased like the turret defense whenever there aren't any enemy minions within range. But then Team Spirit, they just constantly force these objectives. I don't think it's even considered as converting objectives because they're just forcing the objectives.
They're just sieging it out. Now it's another neutral objective. It's a clean game for Team Spirit. 2-0, full control around the map. One Shot might actually live up to his name here. He's 3 levels ahead. He might be able to one-shot Aurora by the end of the game. It's a crazy lead. And Yurokotsu, I don't think he could actually melt down anyone right now, right? He still has to wait for a few more items. Not even Berserker's Fury yet, so they're getting suffocated really hard right now, just from the siege potential.
Yeah, and they might no longer be able to take hold of these buffs, not unless they really try and help Aurora, but there's the Avatar of the Garden.
Sunset Lover got caught there by the stun of the Yisun Shin. That's going to be a trade 1-for-1. Marquinhos falling super Nahuel though. You already used AOG earlier. Kid Bamba able to zone them away. What was that? Hiko just shot him down with a Bennett. Crazy range. It's a sniper at this point.
And it feels like it just goes out so fast. Like all of those bullets from Hiko, he was just spamming it onto the necessary targets, onto the turrets, onto the members who are just even slowed down a bit. And I think it works well, right? If Saul just uses the Glorious Pathway in such a way where it slows down the members of Makeup Evolve, that's just a lot more easier for Hiko to target them down, even using the Bennett. That's not usually the way you see the Beatrix trying to take on the targets. You want the more secure Nibiru or like even super close range.
My goodness!
No.
Yurokatsu almost got 3-shot at Hiko. You should have got Sky Piercer, man. That would have been a kill. That's 1 stack down. 2 shots got him that low, man.
Oh no, this is a 10k gold lead. Almost a 10k gold lead.
They gotta go in. Hiko pops in a better range. He's a bit too ahead for them to survive. And Sunset Lover's the one who picks up the kills. Oh, it's just nasty from Team Spirit. Now with a shot, he gets it. Threading the needle, Fashion. Oh, during this game, Sunset Lover will be punished by Yurokatsu. But the base turret in the bottom lane has fallen, and Team Spirit, they are showing no signs of stopping this ridiculous siege.
All I can say, Team Spirit, they're really setting records now for the first day of the Swiss stage, taking down 2 out of 3 inhibitor turrets in 11 minutes. And still, they have that respect for Makeup Evolve. They're not going to force things as much. They're clearly disciplined from their side, and they're playing this in a really, really great manner. They're just so clean in terms of execution.
The execution has just been clinical from Team Spirit. They have... This is literally a siege. You just starve your opponents to death, man. They can't even walk out their base. Finally, they get to. By the way, like... thank goodness they do, Aurora. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's the Glorious Pathway to slow him down. Oh, it's the Fear of Alpha. It's not a one-shot, but... Hey, it's Aurora down. That's a win for them. 3 seconds for the Lord, too. I don't know if Team Spirit even want to go for the Lord. They might just go for the end.
And that was the only time that they tried to go out for a bit, and it was not a great sight for them. Out of the Guardian knocks upon.
AOG to his demise. Now in the backline, Sawa just zoning them around. It's the Infernal Pursuit, but Hiko loves the Infernal Pursuit. That's the Bennett to deal with it. Look at the range. Yurakatsu zone, Feshin zone. Yurakatsu gets a kill. The horse is down. But can they keep this up? Feshin, does he have it? Now Hiko's walking up. He does have the win of nature. The Spirit of Alpha comes down and Feshin just gets deleted. Aurora will be next. One shot is doing it in the back line, zoning the two marksmen away. And look at Hiko. He's just going for the damage onto the base without the minions even. The Bennett's Rage will be able to catch Yurakatsu. He walks into it. A quick game for Team Spirit as they just suffocated MyCom Evolve.
Ended the game in less than 13 minutes and set records for this day. It seems like Team Spirit really came into the series well prepared, and they're gonna celebrate that victory. They're gonna switch things up a bit for the first day of the Swiss stage.
Finally, we get a red side victory. Finally, we get